Jairam Sampath, whole-time director and CFO with Kaynes Technology, joins us. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. First HNI investors, then institutional brokerages, and now retail brokerages. Are you surprised with how suddenly everybody is excited about the AMS space?
Yeah, so in our journey for the country from a low-income group to a reasonably sized income, I think one of the things which was lacking in our country was the impetus to manufacturing. And I think it looks like electronics manufacturing is going to be the flag bearer of the emergence of manufacturing. I wouldn't say resurgence because we always had not too much of manufacturing on our plate. So yes, I'm not surprised that across the board people are excited and they are lending their support both morally and fiscally.
In your big deal wins in last 3 months, which give you the confidence that the Renaissance moment has arrived?
Yes, I think these are, let's say, times of tipping point, right? So you would see sudden shifts and you would see lots of improvements, and almost every day is going to be an exciting day. So I would say that all the people who are participants in the markets and in the industry now probably are participating in a kind of a revolution of sorts. And I think next 5 to 10 years will definitely prove to be highly engaging as far as the manufacturing industry is concerned. And the why I say this is because there is evidence that it's here to stay, irrespective of all other major economic forces, etc. This particular activity is here to stay.
Right. So, Mr. Sampath, since you are painting such a bullish picture, not for today, tomorrow, but in 5 to 10 years hence, tell me, you had given a revenue target of 1,700 crore rupees in FY24, right? Now, with this added momentum for the sector, the focus by the government as well, and the order inflow, suffice to say that you're going to be revising your guidance upwards for FY24?
Yeah, so we had said it will be upwards of 1,700. Maybe it is more like 1,800 crores right now. And a lot of action will happen in the third and fourth quarter of this fiscal year. Because it takes a little bit of time on ground realities to change, the capacities to build up, orders to flow in and so on. But certainly FY25 also is likely to be pretty good as we see it now. And we are in the process of making sure that we get all the capacities ready to address this. So yeah, 1,800 crore is something that should be on the cards now.
You know, the street is quite excited about smart meters, especially now that the government has also taken steps to boost the manufacturing. Tell me, what kind of an opportunity does this throw for you? And currently, as a percentage of your revenues, what's the portion of smart meters in your business?
Yeah, so presently, just to some facts, presently we do manufacture large number of energy meters and a smaller quantity of smart meters. Smart meters is a new program government has initiated, and it is in the process of finding its feet, so to say, in the implementation scenario. There are 250 million smart meters have been the target. And of course, government is quite let's say, optimistic that they would do it in a few years' time. Maybe it takes a little longer. But in any case, it represents a huge opportunity. So at this point in time, smart meters may be a very small proportion of our total sales because ours is a highly diversified sale. But then, like all other industries, this is one of the hot sectors, one of the many hot sectors that we have in our portfolio, starting with, of course, driven by government's energy policy and smart meter implementation. And I think last year and the year before, government has spent some time in understanding what is the model that works and how to make sure that the consumers get benefited, and also how to make sure that the objectives of the energy policy is also reached. So going forward, you will see a lot of action in this area. And the numbers that you actually see on board for many companies in smart meter area are far lower than what actually is going to happen. So we are also excited to be a small part of this movement. And going forward, it won't be a huge percentage of our business because we also believe that our business should not depend a lot on one or two or a few product categories. But suffice it, it will be significant. And we look forward, at least this year and the next year, reasonable revenues in this space.
for Kaynes and for the entire AMS sector, there is one huge tailwind, and that tailwind is China Plus One. But China Plus One is more like a policy initiative, where the European and especially the US government has imposed a ban, or they put import restrictions on manufacturing which comes out of China. Now that could change. That is something which is completely political. It is policy which is at play. Isn't that a huge risk for the entire EMS space in India? Because you don't know what policy framework will happen.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. In fact, that's what I've been saying also. So this Atmanirbhar Bharat concept, which probably was put forward sometime in 2019 when the current government took charge second time. And so that essentially means that you manufacture for India. Earlier, the concept was to manufacture for the world, and obviously, world has lots of its own idiosyncrasies, and they look at other things other than just economics to do business or not to do business. And it's very volatile and it's very brittle relationships, as you know. So, in order for us to look at this sector, I think we should look at the import substitution bit as the first driver. The second driver is government's implementation of several reforms in the country, which leads to a lot of impetus to electronics manufacturing, be it energy sector, wherein the new energy policy, smart meters and stuff like that, power distribution equipment, then railway improvement of safety and the improvement of railway efficiency, like signaling products and the Kavach program and so on. Then there is IT sector. Already government has made clear its intention that all the manufacturing has to be done in India. Yeah, they have given some little breathing space for people so that they can deal with their customers' demand in the short term. But in the long term, IT, including servers and so on, I think government is also working a lot towards improving the backbone, IT backbone of the country, because just the mobile phones add the possibility and potential, but the actual capacity is added only when IT backbone goes to the villages. So IT policy and so on. So these, and telecom, of course, we are not even talking about 5G right now, but that's again going to be driving the electronics manufacturing. So irrespective of whether China Plus One happens, China Plus 0.5 happens, or China Plus 0.25 happens, I mean, maybe the Chinese government will also take some countermeasures to prevent people from shifting out and so on. So yeah, it may be wherever it is, but I think as far as Indian manufacturing, especially electronics manufacturing, is concerned, it has arrived on the shoulder of more robust demand, let's say, factors than something which is dependent on either a geopolitical situation evolving in some particular manner and so on. So I am quite happy that we are actually standing on shoulders of already something which is imported by India, and we're trying to do it in India, plus government's let's say, minimum program of making sure that India becomes a good economic superpower in terms of in critical areas like infrastructure, energy, telecom, transportation, and so on.
Just a quick word before we let you go. So do you think that these margins of about 15% look sustainable?
Yeah. Okay. As far as Kaynes Technology's business portfolio is concerned, it's based on order books. Like we said last time, we declared that 1st of July, our order book was 3,000 crores plus. So we pretty much know that the margin profile and the eventual PAT profile will be what they are currently. It's somewhat better because we get some operating leverage and so on. So yes, I think we will retain this.
All right, appreciate your time. You sounded very optimistic and given lots of growth targets and levers to work with, and good to have you on board. The stock price of Kaynes Tech is holding out in trade today. We'll take a quick break, but come right back because we've got an interesting discussion lined up. We talk about the turbulence in the aviation sector, what's lined up for that space, what does it mean for individual players. Come right back.